Hi everyone! So I know that art critique can seem overwhelming to someone who has no knowledge on the subject. My goal is to make this less daunting and give you a basic understanding of the art criticism process and how to go about analyzing any piece of artwork you may be interested in. So you can find even more information about this on my website, which will be linked in the description box down below. Alright, so in the art world, criticism always has these 4 steps: description, analysis, interpretation, and judgment. So we're going to take a look and break down each of these steps. So firstly, there is description, and this is kind of like your background research, if you will. This step is looking at, all the obvious things of the work you're looking at. So what you're going to want to know is who is the artist, when was the work made, what is the medium, stuff like that. You're also going to want to describe what it is exactly that you see. So I'm going to be using an example for this process to help you get a better feel for how this goes. So usually seeing something in action helps you understand it better, so I'm going to be using Starry Night, which is pretty famous artwork and everybody knows it. So for the first step, description, I'm going to gather the quintessential information. So the artist is Vincent van Gogh. It was made in 1889. The medium is oil paint. So if I described with no interpretation and said what I saw, I would say, I see a lot of yellow circles and wavy lines with different whites and blues and blacks and things like that. So the next step in the process is analysis, and this is expanding on what we just did on describing. So now we're taking a closer look. So art has a set of design elements and design principles, and I'm going to be making a brief explanation on those soon, so comment and let me know if you would prefer me to make that into a blog post or a video like this. So starting to analyze this painting, we've got a lot of wavy, curvy lines, and the way they move and interact creates a really good flow and sense of unity. Another contributing factor to the unity in this painting is the intensity of the colors he used. They all have a similar intensity that are on a bit of a duller side, so they work well together. The next step is interpretation, and again, this builds on what we just did. You ask yourself questions like, why did they use the elements and principles the way they did? What are their connotations? What are they trying to convey with that? What was using the dull colors trying to were the dull colors trying to convey a feeling of sadness? Are they symbolic elements? What does that mean to you? What do you think the artist was trying to convey? And those two things might not necessarily be the same thing. So in Starry Night, there is a notable use of contrast between the dark blues and blacks and the light yellows and whites. I can use my background knowledge about Van Gogh to contextualize what this work may mean. So I know he struggled with mental health issues quite a lot, and I see that the contrast between the values of the colors he used is quite prominent. So I interpret that as something along the lines of, there is still hope in desperate times, with the light and dark symbolizing each of those respectively. Finally, there is judgment, where you use everything you just collected, all the steps we just did, and you decide what you think the work is worth. So all of these statements should be supported by everything else you just explored. You should ask yourself questions like, why do I like this work? Do I think this is an important piece? Is this museum worthy? Now, one important thing to bear in mind is that art criticism is always constructive. Your judgment should not be demeaning in any manner, and you must employ rationale and logic in all of your statements. So my judgment of this is that I really do like this work. To me, it feels like a bit melancholic, but I still think it's soothing, and to me it represents hope, so I think it's important. So hopefully you learned a thing or two that you didn't know before this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see some more, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and check out my website for more, which is in the description box below.